leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Jim, it's Shirley at the cleaners. You know that brown jacket? The one I said looks so great on you? Your favorite? We lost it.
Jim Rockford would not have had that problem had he gone to Young's Dry Cleaning. Young's Dry Cleaning would not have lost his jacket. You can find out about Young's Dry Cleaning, youngsdrycleaning.com. It was his favorite jacket, too. Well, they can make mistakes. If Young's does, it is New Orleans. They'll fix it. They'll make it right. A New Orleans institution, Young's Dry Cleaning, youngsdrycleaning.com. Yeah, you're right. Let's crank it up, New Orleans. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Cha-ching. Kaboom goes the dynamite. A gorgeous day, too. Chilly, a little nippy out there and breezy. It's cold. Layer up. And it hasn't warmed up. It's been fairly consistent all day. I'm guessing still, I don't think we reached 50. Maybe we have. Feels like 40-something. We know 52, 53 degrees. Humidity's low, 38%. So I guess it kind of feels like what it is. I don't know. With the wind blowing, feels like it's still in the 40s. And it doesn't feel like it really warmed up all that much from this morning. Anyway, gorgeous day, chilly and sunny. Tomorrow, I don't want to say a washout, because you know the old meteorologists, if they can do like Major League Baseball Hall of Famers, they're crushing it. If they're 1 for 3, they're doing well. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. We have no idea how much rain, if we get any rain, if we get it where it knocks out the day or not. But rain tomorrow. And then Sunday's supposed to be nice, sort of a repeat of today. Kind of a repeat of today on Sunday. So I would think Saturday, if I had plans to play golf or tennis or garden or landscape or hunt or fish or go to the park for a walk or riding bikes or whatever, a jog, exercising outside, I would not change my plans. I think folks that do that kind of thing, I just mentioned all of those things regularly, you don't change plans. 4 out of 5 times you usually get it in. And if there is some rain, it might be quick and over with. We're all pretty good experts now just by time and experience in New Orleans. Just the clouds, the humidity, the breeze, the kind of smell, feel in the air. You know if rain's really coming or not and how much almost. Almost. Anyway, Bill Cassidy not running for governor, he said today. We'll find out what John Kennedy is going to do soon. John Kennedy decides to run. He's the odds-on favorite. Hey, anything's better than Jeff Landry. Democrat, Republican, independent. I'd almost go as far to, go even extreme left or right. And that's what Jeff Landry is, just happens to be on the right. Anything but Jeff Landry, please. Boy, talk about a distraction now. It's just like obnoxious level. Federal authorities looking into the mayor. You got the Pontalba thing. I'm talking about this for several months, and finally others are catching on. All those hotel room upgrades. How are they any different from flight upgrades? They're not. The city employee pays for the upgrades. So the mayor's now on the hook for all these hotel upgrades, $2,400 a night, crap like that. Staying in insane suites with a 2-story so-and-so painting. Just all that's like they hype huge closet space, just, all these amenities. You're like, oh, what? Nice. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's like, man, it's probably nicer than your house. I'm like, probably. Are you kidding? Is nicer than my house. Are you joking? It's ridiculous. It's a suite that's $2,400 a night. No, it just doesn't stop. The clothing, the furniture, the federal investigation on those things. The feds are investigating that. The feds are. And then, oh man, that Lee Zurich, what's he got against the mayor? Nothing at all. It's what does the mayor have against the citizens of New Orleans that happens to include a tenacious reporter that does his job, award-winning journalist who is fair and objective and does a hell of a good job, and it's all for the citizens' benefit. The only loser in this is LaToya Cantrell because their secrets are being revealed. That's it. And we don't win. We're just seeing what's being exposed. I guess that's a win, but wouldn't we rather be winning if the mayor created 100 new jobs, had so-and-so relocate here, 500 new jobs being created, that kind of thing. Anyway, the mayor. It's like when there was lots of murders under Ray Nagin and he was asked about it. He's like, hey, man, keeping that New Orleans brand out there, like that's a good thing. The distractions of the mayor. It's unreal. If it's not the city council or the office of inspector general or the feds or an investigative report from television, her own Pontalba apartment cameras catching her. When I say her own, the French Market Corporation, a bunch of political flunkies on that board. It's a little mayor's pet project. Every mayor in New Orleans gets it. It's those cameras. That's the beauty of it. The mayor got busted by her own cameras. No, it's really starting to become, it has been, but even from the, fairest, someone that even leans towards the mayor, it is a distraction. It's a distraction. Don't forget the recall, nolatoya.org, which sadly, you can't run a better recall in my mind. I mean, can you? I'm sure you can. But damn, Eileen Carter is doing a damn good job. I am impressed with her organizational skills, dedication, focus, plan, objective, trying to reach the goals. She's doing everything she can and more. No, the citizens of New Orleans are the ones that are, apathetic. What was it? 29% voted in that last mayor's election. If you count all citizens, the mayor received 12% of New Orleanians vote. 12%, because 29% is all that showed up. No, now you can't get 53,000, 20% of all registered voters to sign a petition. No, because folks in New Orleans, like folks in Louisiana, don't really care. Don't care if LaToya Cantrell stays or goes. That's the beauty of it for her, the John Alario types, the Edwin Edwards. Their strength is, how much can I get away with? LaToya Cantrell's just bad at it. John Alario is really good at it. Had the BMW, got popped, went to a Kia. Had Saints and LSU suite tickets, went to regular tickets. Just, he goes right up against that ceiling, right up against the edge of where people will start barking. The mayor, not so much. Thank God it's Friday, weekend. I get burned out on all this mayor stuff. It's not fun. Wears you out. Have to tell you. What am I going to tell you about? Hey, do you like spaghetti and meatballs or bolognese? We'll talk about that all show long. I prefer a bolognese, by the way. But I don't mind spaghetti and meatballs. Some folks think spaghetti and meatballs is kids' play. Boy, a good meat sauce with some homemade pasta, some good cheese on top. Wow, wow, wow. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. Not a thing. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Fridays with Fletch. Thank goodness to get to decompress and talk about entertainment, luxury type things. Not the 9 to 5 grind like Damea, but more the weekend type fun stuff. Talk a little Saints, LSU, Tulane Green Wave last night. Wow. We'll lead off with that with Fletcher Mackel. I think it's pronounced Mackel. LSU hoops, men and women, you got to watch now. Wow. Coming up in about 45 minutes, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Some good economic news, including that Artemis rocket lifting off earlier this week. Made in New Orleans. Yeah, you right. Speaking of yeah, you right, in about an hour or so, Frank Brigtsen will join us in the 5 o'clock power hour, talking food and goodies, stuff like that. Thanksgiving, they got all the sides, desserts, appetizers. All you need is the bird if you're going that direction. You know how I feel about turkey. It's for the turkeys. What's worse than turkey? Turducken. Coming right back.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms, with high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, no cool spots. NolaAC.com, no cool spots.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Friday afternoon, Fantasy Friday afternoon edition of the program. Thank goodness. Get burned out, man. Mayor this, mayor this, mayor that. Mayor that, mayor. Jeesh. I got a good guy on to ask this question. I wonder how Mrs. Mackel thinks about all this. Mommy Mackel. Fletcher Mackel joins us Fridays with Fletch. Fletch, does your mom ever say, boy, you're kind of more at ease, son, because you cover sports, almost like a luxury thing, entertainment. Hard job. You do your job. Not saying you don't work as hard as your brother Travers, but Travers covers this real life stuff that's like real stressful, like dealing with the mayor all the time. You ever get that from your mom? Do you and your brother ever talk about it? Do you think he's more stressed out than you because you cover sports and he covers news and the news is tiring and just beats the hell out of you, Fletch?
I mean, let me say this. It's definitely more real life and serious than the entertainment world that I am in, that is, you know, sports entertainment and fun and lightheartedness. But no, she doesn't have these. Maybe if my brother couldn't get out of bed or seemed different, but, he has not changed in his life habits, so I don't think she has reason for concern.
He's not taking the job home with him all the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
No, I don't get stressed, but I like Fridays. I like getting you on. You know, it's a more fun topic. I mean, the mayor, man, it just beats you up after all. Politics in general, the news can get pretty ugly, and you can't sit there and, just play sugar-coated type stuff all the time. You got to cover the real stories. I like Fridays, Fletch.
Well, I'm here for you, Corey.
Well, if that's the case, the grass needs a cutting. I could use some gutter clean out. There's a ladder in the shed. Can you get over to the house?
Maybe for my own house, because I've got a lot of life stuff to catch up on, not yours. Sorry.
All right, I know. All right, let's get into it, Fletch. I know this isn't going to be all happy and friendly. What is this story? Sean Payton lit a fire under the team before the Raiders win. A few things. I think that's just all BS for starters.
Let me stop you. Complete BS. Complete and utter fiction.
Okay, good. Maybe then we don't even have to talk about it. That's what I just assumed, Fletch. I don't know it like you do. I just thought that story was total BS, and then I was going to ask you, my God, Fletch, if that's true, what are they doing inviting him back to the facility and all that? So I didn't think any of that was true. That the coach is Dennis Allen. Hey, that's good. Let's put that one to rest. All right, I'm not trying to defend Dennis Allen, I swear. Have you ever seen an injury report like this in your life for the Saints? In your life, where there are 8 starters? I mean, how many starters are there? 22, 23? You want to count special teams guys, 24, 25? A third of your starters? And some of these guys are your better players, and then it's 3 offensive linemen. You can't play in the National Football League with a third of your starters out, and 3 of your 5 offensive linemen. It's impossible to win. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, it makes it very difficult. And look, you asked me, did I see anything like this? Yeah, a few times last year. I mean, look, last year the Saints had more starting players than any team in the NFL last year.
Yep.
And then that one game for COVID the Saints flew 3 guys in on Monday morning and started them on Monday night because the league made them play a game with the COVID protocols that they were dealing with. But this is bad. I mean, this is as bad as I can remember. A couple of times last year it was this bad. But, I mean, look, Cam Jordan, James Hurst, McCoy. I mean, you're right. You got Aaron Donald, who's a wrecking ball coming to town, and you got 3 backup offensive linemen starting. It's not a recipe for success. And look, I am a Dennis Allen defender. I like Dennis. I think he's a smart football coach. I think he's a good man. But, yeah, this season is all but lost. I mean, look, we were all trying to hang on because I know a lot of us predicted a better season for the Saints. And the Raiders game, I think the Raiders are even worse. One of the few teams that are going to be worse than the Saints are the Las Vegas Raiders. And that's why the Saints did a number on the Raiders. But you can't overlook how bad they've been the last two games. I mean, it's been pretty awful against Baltimore and in Pittsburgh. And there's not a lot of silver linings here.
I wouldn't say Jameis Winston is like frustrated and lashing out, but when pressed by you guys, he's sort of acknowledging like, yeah, I'm not the starter anymore because I got injured. I was the starter, got injured, not the starter. I'm healthy enough to play now. No one gets to 100% healthy during the season. Not one player on this roster right now is 100% healthy, nor will they be during this season. There's the kind of unwritten rule is you don't lose your starting job because of an injury. That's pretty much what he said. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but the only problem is before the injury, he wasn't very good. I mean, besides, when did the injury happen? What was he dealing with? I know he said in the first game he was dealing with pain. Again, it gets back to a certain level of dysfunction and disconnect between the player and the coach. Sean Payton always said, he always used to like to tell us, there's only about 8 or 10 teams at the beginning of the year. You can pick them and you know who has a chance to win it because they have synergy from the top down. And then there's a lot of teams that just can't get out of their own way, that they have, there's disconnect between the players and the coach and management and the ownership. It's not good.
No, but yeah, and no offense. I mean, you also have teams that he probably would count as they're going to be good, and they fall out of that. And then there's a team that comes out of nowhere that emerges. So whatever. The point is, Jameis Winston was the starter. An injury knocked him out. Dennis Allen didn't say we're going in another direction with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston's fully healthy. The injury knocked him out. Winston's sort of insinuating, I should be starting again. I'm fine. I'm healthy enough.
He is. And here's the thing. And Dennis Allen was clear. Jameis is healthy enough to play, and they stuck with Andy. He said Andy operates the offense more effectively. This week, when Andy hasn't operated the offense the last 2 weeks very effectively, Dennis said they were contemplating a change. And once again, he said, this is my decision. We're sticking with Andy Dalton. So, look, I think they've made the decision. They don't, we can keep sugarcoating it. They benched Jameis Winston. They don't have confidence in Jameis Winston. They don't want to play Jameis Winston. Again, they probably made a massive mistake signing Jameis Winston in the offseason. They chased Deshaun Watson, and when they didn't get him, they probably should have either drafted somebody or pursued another free agent. If you felt this poorly about Jameis Winston, I keep going back to the 2022 offseason is going to be up there with one of the worst off seasons in Saints history. Counting Dennis Allen as the head coach, chasing Deshaun Watson in the PR nightmare, re-signing Jameis Winston but having no confidence in him, trading a draft pick away that could be a top 5 pick, trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. There's not a lot of wins this offseason that give you confidence in this team having success.
Man, I am not out to attack Sean Payton, Fletcher. Let's get that straight. But my God, no one mentions him. Bails on the team, retires from the Saints out of nowhere. There are reports while he's coaching the Saints, his people are talking to the Dolphins. He says literally in the same sentence, like in the Saints facility, yeah, I really need a break. And then walking out the door into the sunlight, I'm ready to coach again. It's mind-blowing. No quarterback for the future. There's not quarterbacks scattered around the league that Sean Payton developed like you think there'd be. Like Nick Saban's coaching, tree. You think there'd be a Sean Payton quarterback tree or Sean Payton coaching tree even. A bunch of head coaches around the league that are Sean Payton disciples. So Sean Payton deserves a lot of the blame of 500 last year. As coach of the Saints, they're 500. They're 9-8. They don't go to the playoffs. They're basically a 500 club. It's a continuation of last year. Sean Payton just gets a pass, and That Super Bowl, I think, was in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. That was the 2009 season. That was 13 years ago. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. Just gets a pass.
Yeah, I'll say there's a couple of things. I do think that you have something against him. And I mean, it clearly is obvious with that. And so, but again, I'm not here to defend him. I like Taysom Hill. I think the Saints made a mistake. I think you should own your disdain for Payton only because you do tweet about him a lot. That's the only reason why. And so here's the thing. I would say that he is partly responsible for the situation.
Fletcher, real quick, name me any other media member locally, I'm not even in sports, that has said anything disparaging about Sean Payton, not planning for the future at quarterback, leaving the team in a lurch, not coaching when he didn't have Drew Brees. Name me one person.
Well, I mean, I can say this. I've said that they made a massive miss and it was a massive failure when they traded up. Sean Payton, I queued the bite up when they played the Ravens. I asked him at the owners' meetings. He said how much he liked Lamar Jackson, and they made a massive misstep by drafting Marcus Davenport instead of Lamar Jackson. I mean, a lot of us have said that. But again, here's the thing. I look at it in the world we live in now, people are always like, it's got to be one direction or the other. It's got to be the most polarizing situation. And I tend to not
see that's what I'm saying. Everything is Payton ignored, and Payton kind of screwed the Saints over. He's kind of screwed them over and left them in lurch. And real quick, that's another Payton miscue. He's just like, I got Drew Brees. I could win a Super Bowl. Let me get a defensive player because I've been terrible at that. And he missed the quarterback for the future. I'm taking a break. We're coming right back. Don't move, Fletch.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay. Take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. What's wrong with you?
I immediately regret this decision.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
You heard the man. What's wrong with you for listening or watching? What's wrong with Fletcher Mackel freely choosing to participate in this program as a guest each and every Friday? He might need some psychoanalysis. Fletch, I love Sean Payton as Saints head coach now, like off the air as a fan. Love him as coach. Love the offensive philosophy. Love the success. Love the competitive nature, cocky attitude, all that stuff. I was just as a fan looking forward to the post-Drew Brees Sean Payton. What's this hyper-competitive guy going to do? He refuses to lose. He's always going to win. What's the next thing? And then there's no post-Brees Payton. There's no quarterback in the building, just that nonsense. And then lastly, he left the team with no notice. Just uncool. That's it. And then lastly, really, no one is critical of Sean Payton because of the 2009 Super Bowl. That's just how we are, Fletch. You know, LSU Saints, a lot of the sports media is, don't make the team mad first. Second, don't make the fans mad. Third, do your job as a journalist. You know that. So I think Payton gets a big, big pass. That's all. So maybe you're right. Maybe I'm in total denial, and really I'm like, screw Sean Payton, and I want to strangle him.
Well, I don't know if it's that quite that bad, but here's the thing. I do think people do their job here. I don't think, I'm not in bed with the team. I mean, I've been saying for weeks now the season's over. They've made massive missteps, but people don't want to hear that sometimes. Sometimes fans keep going, oh, you're all homers. And it's like, well, not really. We keep saying that they stink. I keep asking Jim Mora every week, is the season finally over? But I'll say this. Is Sean Payton partly to blame for this? Sure. But I still look at it like this, like I was trying to say before we went to break. Some people want to go in the most polarizing direction. Sean Payton doesn't get a pass, but Sean Payton is not wholly responsible or mostly responsible for the Saints being 3-7 right now. That's ludicrous. That's crazy. Sean Payton, if anything, I think it shows how valuable Sean Payton is and why teams, he's going to be the number one coaching candidate for every NFL job that pops open. Every job that has popped open so far, he's linked to, and he will continue to be linked to, because the track record tells us there are far more pros than cons with Sean Payton. Sure, did they draft and develop a quarterback? No, they did not. But this is the one thing I tell people. Who did Andy Reid draft and develop in Philadelphia when they ran him out of town? Kevin Cobb? Yet he's a pretty good coach with Kansas City, right? Like when he had Donovan McNabb, he was pretty good. When he didn't, he wasn't. Now that he's got Patrick Mahomes, he's pretty good. Again, is Andy Reid responsible for Philly's failures when they hired Chip Kelly and before they got good again? No, he's probably not. So again, I think the head coach, when he's there, is instrumental in a team's success. But for the people that want to and again, that would be you, that want to say he gets a pass. Well, why does he get a pass for chasing Deshaun Watson when he wasn't even in the organization, or re-signing Jameis when he told all of us he would have never re-signed Jameis, or drafting Mickey traded for the pick last year. Why is Sean responsible for all these things? Because, again, I fault them for not trading for Lamar Jackson, but there's no coaches in the league. Like, did Bill Belichick develop somebody behind Brady? No. Like, they drafted Daniel Jones after a wasted year with Cam Newton. Like, Bill Belichick's the greatest coach in NFL history. He must suck now, though, because he didn't have a plan post-Brady when Brady was 43 years old. Like, so sometimes I think people go too hard in the wrong direction. And look, I'm guilty of that. There's players and coaches I don't have an affinity for, and there's probably players and coaches I have an affinity, for and against that I lean one way. But I don't try to celebrate it or spin it as I'm an unbiased person. I own my opinion. And again, if your opinion is Sean is responsible, I would own it more than I would try to spin it on the local media's not doing their job. I would just say, Corey Johnson, personally, I hold him responsible, and nobody's going to convince me otherwise. He needs to be held accountable, in my opinion. And I would go with that. I'd say, okay, I disagree with your opinion, but that's your opinion.
Oh, no. I think that's clearly my opinion. I know you disagree, and it is. It's just my opinion. It doesn't matter. But no, I just add the caveat of I don't think anyone else even ever criticizes Coach Payton, and I think...
But here's the thing. That's what I agree with. What I agree with is I'm fine with your opinion. If your opinion is that's what you believe, I'm fine with that. What I don't like is everybody else is soft on him because it's not our opinion. It's not that we're soft on him. I will hold him responsible for certain inequities of the organization, but not wholly responsible, or this whole theme of we're giving him a pass because we like him. Like, that's just not the case. He's responsible, but not more so than the leadership that is there now and the people that are responsible for the 3-7 this year.
No, I mean, the reason I get you on the show is because I think you're a real reporter, real reports. If a player or coach likes you, great. If they don't, I don't think you care or lose any sleep over it. I don't think that's your goal.
I don't think you do either. And that's what I like about you. I don't think you do either. But I just don't know. Like, sometimes this, the theme of, Sean Payton's not held accountable. It's like, well, how accountable should he be held? Like, you're right. He came back to town from Idaho, and he's spending a lot of time in Los Angeles, and he played golf with Mickey. He went to the organization. But then people start talking about, he met with the team. That's why they played so well. That's just crazy. That's not why they played well.
Exactly.
The Raiders are just bad. And again, here's the thing. I would agree with you. There's certain things that he could have done better before leaving here, but I don't know now. Rome is burning right now, and I don't think he's the biggest.
No, he's long gone out the building by now. You can't blame the last president for everything. Hey, Fletch, what an incredible story. All you got to do is watch the Willie Fritz, Tyjae Spears. Hey, son, you're going to the Senior Bowl video. And if that doesn't get you fired up as a college football fan, as a New Orleanian, as a Tulane football fan, then you're not a Tulane football fan.
Let me say this. Look, that was a statement win last night. That was a team that SMU had beaten Tulane 7 straight years. And not just beaten them. There were a few of those games where they just owned and embarrassed them. So for Tulane to win as big as they did, in commanding fashion like they did, I mean, look, that was pretty special. What Willie Fritz has done this year is special, and people should be celebrating it, talking more about it. Tulane deserves all of your attention right now because they still have a chance to win this conference and do some special things and maybe play in the Cotton Bowl this year.
They totally dominated last night from start to finish, like 55-21. I forget the score because it was so high scoring. Just plays all over the place. Pratt playing great at QB. It was pretty amazing. You're so right on the attention for Tulane because you get a top 25 matchup to end the season with Cincinnati. It is for everything. If Tulane wins that game, they get a rematch against Central Florida, who they just lost to in Florida for the American Athletic Conference Championship, possibly. And
You win that, Fletch, you're 10-2. Excuse me, 11-2. 11-2. If you get by Cincinnati and make it to the AA Conference Championship game and win that, you're 11-2. You're going to a major New Year's Day bowl as the Wave.
Yeah, I mean that's it. They'd be at the Cotton Bowl, and it would be the biggest. Again, I think I've said this before on your show. It would be the biggest sporting event in Tulane since the 2005 College World Series. I mean, if Tulane played in the Cotton Bowl against USC or Penn State or LSU or Alabama, I mean, it would be unbelievable. It would be fantastic. And again, they deserve all this attention. Last night, SMU was the best offensive team in the conference. SMU averages 40 points per game, and they just slapped them in the face, the Tulane defense. I mean, talk about coming back after their worst defensive performance against Central Florida and giving up 38 by answering the bell and handling the best offensive team in the conference. And look, Pratt was spectacular last night. Every top to bottom, it was a statement win coming off a tough loss. That, sometimes it's not how you follow up a nice win. How do you respond after a difficult loss? This team responded in a way that shows they have, to me, the heart of a champion to maybe do some special things still this year.
Now, how do you win by 40 and you're 0 for 7 on third down?
There were a couple of crazy stats in that game.
That's insane.
That jumped out at you. I mean, I do know they had some good chunk plays.
No, that's it. You had big plays on first and second down, because if you're 0 for 7 on third down and you win by 40, that doesn't jive.
Yeah, no, but look, what Tulane is doing, thank goodness for Tulane and LSU, because, again, the Saints have been pretty much of a letdown. And what Brian Kelly's done in Baton Rouge in year one is pretty special. I mean, you realize this, if LSU wins these final two games, which they're going to be favored in, they're going to get a chance to go to play Georgia at the SEC championship. And if they win, they're going to get into the college football playoff, I think. I mean, it'll be chaos, but I still think they'll get in.
Yeah.
I mean, in year one. So, I mean, look, Tulane and LSU are the football stories this fall. And the Saints, unfortunately, is all the things you and I have talked about. And it's negative, and it's not something that makes people feel good going into their weekend. Whereas now, Tulane and LSU are kind of those rays of light and that hope for everyone.
Hey, now, Ty J is a fourth-year redshirt guy, so that's why he's going to the Senior Bowl, but he's a junior in football years, right?
Yeah, but again, because he's a fourth-year guy, they changed the rules
that he can go.
Right.
So, and he could return to Tulane next year. Probably will. Who knows?
He could make it. I think he'll probably end up before deciding what he wants to do, because they'll have to declare.
Yeah.
What does he do?
Hold that thought real quick, Fletch. Hold that thought. Coming right back. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30. And they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
You must have had the jumbo.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Jumbo?
Sorry, I mean the gumbo liar.
We got Tasha's folks in there. Come on up. Tasha, you've been chosen to play.
That's some pretty good video, Fletch. Willie Fritz bringing Tajay and his parents up in front of everybody and announcing he's been chosen to play in the Senior Bowl. That locker room just erupts, man.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I watched the video on social media. I mean, look, that's a big moment. I mean, look, if he goes to the Senior Bowl, he's a really good player.
Yep.
And that's a chance to, I mean, look, everybody kind of knows. I cover the Senior Bowl every year. You know, when certain guys show up, you know, hey, this is a top 10 guy or a first-round guy. But there's a lot of money to be made for some of these guys between rounds 2 and 5. You see guys show up at the Senior Bowl that are projected fourth-rounders that have unbelievable weeks and jump up into the second. And then you do see guys cost themselves money by having poor weeks. But he's a guy that I think the season he's had, a week of practice there, he's a guy who could really help himself.
Hey, Fletch, this kind of video, the athletic players making athletic plays for a team that dominates, and it's on ESPN Thursday night standalone game, the players, how they celebrate. Willie Fritz has a winning team, a legitimate team. All of that just starts snowballing the recruiting. I mean, I'm watching last night. I'm like, I like the colors of those helmets. I like those uniforms. I like these scenes they're showing in New Orleans. I like this coach's mentality. I like how this team's playing and winning. I could see myself playing for Tulane. I think this Willie Fritz has it going right now for the Green Wave, and the publicity and the hype and stuff like that video. It just keeps the snowball going. It's good to be a Green Wave fan. It took a little while, but it seems to be really rolling right now.
Look, I would agree with everything you just said. I don't want to be Debbie Downer. The only negative is I do worry is Georgia Tech or if Kansas's coach leaves for a better job.
Yeah.
You know, some Power Fives have kicked the tires on Willie in recent years. And I think he was always kind of the fallback. Like Tulane going 6-6 was, hey, Willie Fritz wins at a place where it's really tough to win. But they're going to go 10-2, I think, in the regular season. I think they're going to beat Cincinnati. They're going to play in the conference championship game. I mean,
I think they're going to beat Central Florida in a rematch. I honestly do.
That's me. I think they're going to end up maybe in the Cotton Bowl.
Yep.
And if he gets that far, you're going to see the Power Fives that had him as their third, fourth, or fifth candidate. If you're Georgia Tech, what more do you want than a Willie Fritz? If you're Kansas and your coach who's done a nice job this year gets Nebraska or a bigger job, don't you want Willie Fritz? So that's the concern for me, is that I think he's done a fantastic job this year. I think he's done a fantastic job this whole tenure.
Yep.
But this year with the breakout year, I think it's going to catch the attention of a lot of factors that move him up to the top of their list.
No, he's 62, so he's still young enough to make the move. It's towards the end. You know, 3-4 years from now, there won't be any suitors probably coming. Maybe just a few. But no, you're right. That all of a sudden success can be a problem where Fritz could get lured away. But he makes pretty astronomical money. This isn't some old Tulane coach making $600,000 a year. He's at like $2.5 million a season, isn't he?
Oh yeah, no, he's up there. He's on par with all the good coaches in the American Athletic Conference, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
So, but again, you're still talking about the AAC. You're still talking about the
No, it'd be a Power 5 gig, and it'd be $4 or $5 million a season. He'd be doubling his salary.
Right. And look, he's from Kansas. I know he hasn't lived there in a while, but he's from there. He's coached there. Georgia Tech is one of those jobs that, a lot of people have looked at as the guy that can turn it around.
Yep.
So maybe he could. And look, I hope he stays at Tulane. I'm not saying I want him to leave.
You want him to retire at Tulane in a decade.
Sure. Yeah, and keep doing great stuff.
Exactly.
And build off of this and have some. How's about a couple of these? Not just the one breakout season. How's about back-to-back?
Yeah, how about sustaining it? Exactly, sustaining it, getting another. Tulane's doing a good job of recruiting. You get that special running back or quarterback, and all of a sudden you can do stuff. Dominating D.
If they can. Look, Pratt's back. There's a big chunk of their team that's going to be back.
Yep.
I think they could. And even if they don't get to 10-2 in the regular season next year, 9-3 or 8-4, that's still a tremendous year. And so I think he can do it, but I do think the attention this year is there's going to be more attention on him for Power 5 jobs.
Hey, we'll talk some LSU next week. They got UAB. SeatGeek, Pelicans Celtics, $30. Saints Rams, $21. How often is a Saints ticket less than a Pels ticket, Fletch?
It may be the first time that I can ever remember. Literally ever.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yes. I'm here right now. I'm in the parking garage going to the Pelicans game. Yeah.
Nice. All right, good. Yeah, that's a good one, too. 12-3 Celtics, 9-6 Pels, 7:30 Smoothie King Center.
Yep.
All right, Fletch. Always a pleasure.
All right, Corey. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. That's Fletcher Mackel. Love getting him on the program. Lots of opinions. Been at it 20-plus years. And busts his tail. You heard him. Yeah, I'm pulling up to the parking lot right now. The game doesn't tip off for 2.5 hours. It's a 7:30 tip-off. Fletcher's already at the Smoothie King Center. No, it's dedication. It's a Friday night. Got to like that. No, real reporters, real reports. That's why I like getting them on. Hey, every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Lincoln, the big store in Kenner, right on the corner, right on the price, the car corner. of Williams Boulevard and I-10 in Kenner. And now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. 5 o'clock power hour next. Michael Hecht, Frank Brigtsen, and you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that, I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Once upon a time, there were 3 beautiful girls. 2 of them graduated from the police academy. The other graduated from a top school for models. And they each reaped the rewards of their exciting careers. But I took them away from all that, and now they work for me. My name is Charlie.
We never ever did get to see Charlie. Just the old speakerphone from the 70s, the box on the table. But then again, no one was watching the show to see Charlie. That probably worked out pretty well. Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. A gorgeous, chilly, sunny day as we fade into evening. Tomorrow, maybe a little rain. Sunday's supposed to be a repeat of today. It is Friday, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program, the 5 o'clock power hour. I love recognizing this very moment of the week. 100% of the work week in the books. 100% of the weekend smack dab in front of us. Smell the roses. We recognize this time slot right now, this very moment, by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. I said by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. 5 o'clock whistle appropriately brought to you by Super Discount Store in Chalmette. You know what their deal is? The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on all wine, alcohol, and cold beer. Everything, all the time. It's not a sale. It's not on select items. They've got a huge selection. The Fluke, they don't have what you drink. I don't care if it's Pappy Van Winkle. I don't care if you buy cases of wine at $100 a bottle. It'll cost you less. They'll get it. And you'll pay the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law. It'll cost you less than anywhere else. It's only at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Super Discount Store!
5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Super D in Chalmette. Federal authorities looking into the mayor, Pontalba. That's not federal authorities. This clothing and furniture thing is. Boy, the distractions with the mayor. You know, I've mentioned several times on the show, the hotel room upgrades fall under the same laws, same city ordinances, flight upgrades, and now that's coming to light. Lee Zurich talking about that today. You know, the city employees paying for those upgrades. Now, the mayor is just becoming a distraction, and it makes it difficult for everybody. Throw in the recall. It's just not a good look. Now, I'll tell you a guy that just goes to bat for us each and every day and probably is like, man, my guys in Austin don't have to deal with this. My guys over in Seattle aren't dealing with this. But he never has a bad attitude. I've never heard him mention it. I mention it. We've never had a side discussion about any of this. He's always got a positive attitude. That's why I like having him on the show. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He's not in denial. He's just a go-getter that has a good, positive vibe. Michael Hecht joins us from Greater New Orleans Inc. That's why we get him on every Friday. What up, Miguel?
What's up, KJ?
Plus, you throw me one of those life preserver rings. I get caught up in the Monday through Thursday muck. I need a positive vibe.
You do tend to start going down the. I guess it's called the K-hole, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a scary spot to be. Now, I'll tell you what. Middle of the week, I didn't get bogged down when I watched that Artemis rocket blast off into space. Michael, I don't know about you. I can say I can speak for you. I wish more New Orleanians felt this way. I was proud as hell. I was like, that's my rocket. That's New Orleans built. New Orleans East built. That's Michoud. That's my rocket. I was fired up. Made in New Orleans.
You know, it's so weird how, so that rocket, the biggest one ever assembled in human history, was put together 90% in New Orleans. And yet it still is kind of a footnote, front page, below the fold, kind of article, way below, the feds investigating, some clothing consultant. It's interesting how it really has never soaked into our self-identity. And I'm trying to figure out how to fix that, but it's stubborn. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of knows it in the back of their mind, but it's not something they would mention as a top 10 of New Orleans. And it certainly deserves to be top 10, if not top 5.
But Michael, we invented the beignet.
Yeah, I guess it's that, it's a donut without a hole. Yay.
Now we all love beignets, but that gets more hype. Like that would be more of a New Orleans thing than the Artemis rocket, and that's wrong. I mean, we need to connect that to the city, and people need to connect it and be proud.
All right, look, let me give you a very real example since you brought up dessert or beignets. So the return of Hubig's pies, we were involved in as well. We were involved in the Artemis because we helped keep the facility open after the space shuttle ended. And we were involved in Hubig's getting them relocated to Elmwood so they could reopen. I actually think that Hubig's got probably as much, if not more hype than the largest rocket ever assembled in human history.
They got more hype than the Artemis rocket. It's not even close. It's not even close. Local media, social media, it's not even close. I responded to something yesterday. Hubig's fried, Cadell's baked, like that folks didn't know why they tasted different or what the main difference was. I was like, one's fried, one's baked. And yeah, but I was also retweeting Artemis and Built New Orleans and the Tombstone and what we should do out there and all those ideas that you and I talk about. But that sums it up perfectly, Michael. You nailed it. And I'm going to use that next week. We talk more about the Hubig pie than the Artemis rocket.
And I need help from you and your talented listeners. So we are now working on a rebranding campaign for New Orleans East, okay, with a group out there called the Greater New Orleans East Business Association. And so what I need is some ideas on what would the real tagline be. Like we worked on one for the North Shore. It ended up being north of your expectations.
Nice.
So what would New Orleans East be? People can come back with some funny ones,
New Orleans East may or may not. I don't know if it does or does not, but it may need bridge cities now. Fairfield are supposed to be.
Yeah.
The Harvey Canals, the Harvey Waterway, Airline Drive instead of Airline Highway, trying to make it less caustic and rough. I don't know if New Orleans East needs to be changed, but I don't know if this is it, but I told you that Sally Ann Roberts line, New Orleans East, the sun rises in the East.
Yeah. Okay. The sunrise in the East is not a bad one. It's kind of clever. It's got some Kung Fu kind of overtones to it, which we kind of like, kind of Wu-Tang.
Yep.
To New Orleans Eastly. I don't know. Anyway, send in your ideas. The winner gets a Hubig's pie.
Now, is this going in the wrong direction? New Orleans East, where you dump your tires.
Yeah, that's the wrong direction.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to get it going right, Michael. I need help sometimes. The old K-hole's emerging. We need to fill it in with dirt.
Pull out. So listen, how about this one? Did you get the propaganda that we sent that we are ranked as the number 9th fastest growing GDP in America for the past year.
I did see that. Explain all that to me, because I was a little perplexed and confused about it. What's all that about? It doesn't seem like we have huge population growth.
Yeah, no, so it's not population growth. Here's what's interesting. It's actually real. It's GDP growth, okay? So it's basically the sales of our businesses. And so what happened was two things. One is that hospitality took a huge hit from COVID and is coming back strong. So that's driving part of it. The other part is that we're doing well in petrochemicals and in shipping. And so between the comeback in hospitality and the strength of kind of our base industries, yeah, we're actually number 9 in the country, right behind Dallas and right in front of Orlando over the past year. I mean, those aren't my numbers. Those are somebody else's numbers.
No, totally. And their criteria. No, you're right.
Yeah. And another ranking named New Orleans, the most desirable city
outside
in the world.
Outside of Europe or something like that?
Yeah, I guess so. And, again, I don't know what the hell the Wanderlust ranking is, but it's just the point, Corey, is that, man, if we can get past the distractions, we have fundamentals here that other people would give their finger for. All 9 of their fingers.
No, you're right. You're so right, Michael. You're so right. We're not a rich state run. I mean, a poor state that's run right. We're a rich state that's run improperly.
No, that's correct. That's correct.
We squander it.
That's a cause for despair, but also for hope. Breeze Airways that we helped bring here. Exciting. They've got a bunch of new direct flights: Pittsburgh, Raleigh, Hartford, Providence, and a little birdie tells me that at some point we might get some stuff going international from them. And so,
nice.
We're a hub for them. It's kind of like if we were a hub for Southwest, it's kind of identical. So it's a really quality character, run by the guy who started JetBlue.
Yep. Any final thoughts, Michael, till next week?
You know what? As we go into next week, I would like everybody just to think about what they're thankful for in New Orleans. I think we just went through a bunch of the things, but KJ, I'm thankful for you and Blue Dog.
Yep. Oh, Blue Boy. Right back at you, Michael. Love having you on the program. Thanks so much.
Thanks, brother. Bye-bye.
That's Michael Hecht. Corey Johnson with you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? You going to make it to Katie's over the weekend, lunch and dinner, plus they're open throughout the day. A New Orleans neighborhood joint full of a bunch of New Orleans neighborhood characters. Folks flock from all over to make it to Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets. Corner Iberville at Talamacas. A taste of New Orleans. Katie's, a mid-city mainstay. Hey, speaking of Katie's, you folks out in Elmwood, out in Harahan, River Ridge, Old Jefferson, the Katie's of Harahan, bienvenue. Right in the curve on Hickory, bringing a little mid-city Katie's flavor to Old Jefferson, Harahan, the Katie's of Harahan, bienvenue. Yeah, why aren't you at Katie's right now in mid-city on a Friday? Good stuff. Good place. Full of New Orleans characters. Folks float into that place as their work day winds down. The shift could end 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Just a bunch of characters, lots of regulars. You'll hear some crazy conversations over there. Hey, it is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. If you missed the show so far, 4 o'clock hour, you missed Fletcher Mackel, Fridays with Fletch, talking a little Saints, a little Pels, a lot of Tulane. Yeah, you're right, Green Wave, a lot of LSU, a little LSU actually, more Green Wave this week. Great win last night for the Wave. Michael Hecht joined us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. How about that Artemis rocket launch? Made in New Orleans. No, and Michael and I kind of nailing it today. We had more emphasis this week as New Orleanians on the return of the Hubig's pie than the Artemis rocket. And that just says something about us. I'm not knocking the Hubig's pie, but the Artemis rocket, we should be proud of it. We built it. It's us. It represents us. And we're all kind of oblivious to it. It's mind-blowing, mind-boggling. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Let's go to Uptown New Orleans, the Carrollton neighborhood, the Riverbend, about a block and a half from where Carrollton and St. Charles Avenue intersect. Dante Street, right off River Road, Leek Avenue. It's Brigtsen's restaurant for 36 years. Frank Brigtsen, James Beard Award-winning chef Frank Brigtsen joins us on the program. How are you, Frank?
I'm doing great, Corey. How are you?
Doing really well, man. What's cooking in Uptown?
Oh, man, we're doing our Thanksgiving takeout stuff. We've already started prep on that. We got so many orders, I think I might have to cut it off.
Yeah, I was talking about it last hour. Basically, all the folks need to do is get the bird, get the protein, because you got the appetizers, the sides, and dessert, right?
We do. Soup, sides, and pies, butternut shrimp bisque, filet gumbo, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, sweet potato dirty rice. And then for dessert, we have our pecan pie, of course, and a seasonal sweet potato pecan pie.
Wow.
And naturally, pints of caramel sauce to go with it.
Yep. Heat it up. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure orders are going through the roof. People like it easy nowadays, Frank.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, well, I guess part of it is the time and effort, and part of it's the economy, buying all the groceries. Some of the prices this week were alarming.
Yes, everything's more expensive.
I had to actually take off our very popular Caesar salad because the price of romaine more than doubled. Almost $100 for a case of lettuce.
Instead of like $40, $50?
42 was what it was, and then it went up to 93.
Jeez and Pete's. Wow.
So my reports that I'm getting from our produce company are that lettuces in general are going to be expensive, sketchy availability.
Now what's the Caesar on your menu? Like $10, $12, $14?
Yeah, $12.
So you can't put it on the menu for 19. It would just be ridiculous, right?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It would be a $24 salad.
Yeah, no, and then the entree's $3 more or $8 more. It's kind of yeah.
Yeah. So you just got to be aware of things. I mean,
Wow.
eggs have more than doubled. Things you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And that's all, something that we all have to pay attention to in our business. And we just gotta be flexible and creative and roll with it.
I swear, when you said the Caesar's off, I'm like, boy, anchovies must have doubled or tripled in in cost. The lettuce, unbelievable. It really is.
The lettuce. After I noticed that, the next day I was in my local grocery, and I just, out of curiosity, went and looked at that little 3-pack of romaine hearts.
Yep.
And it was $9.99
instead of like $4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Iceberg lettuce is $5.45 each.
Wow.
Wholesale.
Wow. Yeah, that's prohibitive.
Yeah, it is. So
that's going to knock salads off the menu. I mean, geez and Pete's. That's crazy.
It's really insane.
Yep, it is.
We do have our house salad still, thankfully, and that's with spring mix, mesclun mix. And this time of year, we took off the tomatoes and we added satsumas. So it's satsumas and feta and spiced pecans and a cane vinaigrette. Really, really nice. I had one the other night.
That is really, really nice. What you got as far as fish tonight, Frank? Probably 3-4 different fish dishes?
That's correct, Corey. I was one wholesaler was out of speckled trout, but I found some at another company. So we got at least for tonight, maybe for the weekend. Black and yellowfin tuna, of course. That's still coming really, really nice. Through the cold months, that does really well. Striped bass, broiled with crab meat crust and a lemon crab sauce, garnished with asparagus, mushrooms, and leeks. Very, very popular. And then one change this week, Coy, Chef Larry put on our most popular pork chop dish, which is with the pork debris sauce and mashed potatoes. And we've been selling a lot of that this week, and perfect weather for it. Really like the richest pork gravy you can imagine.
Yeah. It's not just for the pork chop, it's for the mashed potatoes too.
Yeah, absolutely. I took one of those home as well. The other night I took home a house salad and a pork chop.
How can you go wrong with that?
Oh, it was just right. Really, really delicious.
Plus, Frank, I mean, that seems like a good to-go dish where you could heat that up a little bit if you had to.
You absolutely could. It doesn't suffer from the takeout process.
Now, just like a little 30-second nuke in the microwave type of thing?
I guess.
Or is that blasphemy?
I don't know what those are.
Yeah, I know you don't at your restaurant, but for like the consumer, you don't want to put it back in the oven or on a skillet, right?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
You could put the chop. Yeah, you could put the chop in the gravy in a little skillet and then just slowly heat it up, and it'll be just fine.
Nice.
You could mic it too.
No, I'd rather not mic it if I could avoid it,
Yeah, we keep on our stovetop. We have a cast iron skillet always, and then we have two different sizes of nonstick pans, which are great for making eggs or for reheating something from takeout.
Yeah, nice. Frank Brigtsen's with us from his restaurant. Any openings tonight or tomorrow night?
I think it's pretty well booked, but you can give Marna a call. She's on the phones tonight. And then next week, we're taking a long Thanksgiving weekend, so we'll be open Tuesday and Wednesday, and then close the rest of the week.
So
please come see us. If you got family in town that are craving some Louisiana seafood or gumbo, we got all that.
So tonight, tomorrow night, Monday and Tuesday night, and then you won't be back till the Monday night after Thanksgiving?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, y'all aren't open on Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
Monday we'll actually be cranking out our Thanksgiving takeout stuff.
Tonight?
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and then not till the following Tuesday.
Gotcha. Taking off Thanksgiving Thursday, the Friday after, and the Saturday after. Gotcha. All right.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct.
So you can go maybe tonight or tomorrow night if you can slip in, but it's probably booked up. But you can probably get a reservation for Tuesday or Wednesday night. And while it lasts, and I think it's going to start fading out, these, sides, dessert, appetizers, what do you call it? Side pies and what, Frank?
Soup, sides, and pies.
There you go. That's kind of...
Yeah, you can find that menu on brightsens.com website. There's a dinner menu, a regular takeout menu, and then our Thanksgiving takeout menu. So you can see what we are offering there.
And the number at Brigtsen's is 861-7610. 861-7610. Put that phone number in your phone. 861-7610 is the phone number at Brigtsen's. Hey, Frank, we missing anything? We talked about dessert. We got the butternut soup in there, the shrimp and butternut bisque, the gumbo. What are we missing?
All the good stuff, man.
What are we missing? I know you got the chicken still on the menu. You got the filet on the menu. We got anything else out there?
Yeah. We got the airline breast chicken with andouille pan gravy and fontina cheese grits. That's another good cold weather dish.
That sounds good.
And beef filet with tasso marchand du vin, topped with some fried shallot rings. I'm kind of craving that myself right now. So, yeah, we got all the good stuff. And I want to wish you, Corey, and all your listeners a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the company of your family and friends, and eat some good New Orleans food.
No doubt. Right back at you, Frank. See you in a few weeks. Thanks so much.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Frank Brigtsen's got those desserts, the sides, soups, the appetizers. He's got everything but the turkey for you for Thanksgiving. Brigtsens.com. Brigtsens, BRIGTSENS. Brightsens.com. No, and it's Frank Brigtsen. It's all his stuff. All you got to do is get the protein part down. And you know what I think about turkey? It's for the birds. I like turkey. Turkey's just fine. Carving up a Thanksgiving turkey. I don't want to kill your buzz. No pun intended. Buzzard. Carving up turkey, hot gravy. It's good. But it's good because there's nothing else next to it. You put any other protein almost imaginable and you're going to leave the bird alone, even with the hot gravy. No, it's kind of a weird American tradition. I say a few things like there's a reason turkey isn't served at restaurants. It's sort of just mediocre. The only thing worse than turkey, turducken. Turducken. What if you don't like the stuffing? It's like, boy, you wrecked the whole chicken, duck, turkey gimmick. Anyway, no, my parents years ago, we had turkey every year. Had the old carving knife, cutting it all up. Everybody, I want white meat. I want dark meat. Gravy. Enjoyed it. And then one year, it was weird. My dad had like New York strips next to the turkey. And the turkey barely got cut into. And then the next year, I think we just blew the turkey off completely. Had like a pork crown roast. And then the next year was lamb chops. It's just always something that was kind of not an easy dish to make, kind of a gourmet-ish dish with some kind of nice chef-driven gravy that my dad would put together. And we'd have the oyster dressing, which was phenomenal. And he'd bake a pan of baked pasta. And we had a bunch of other, thing. I mean, my mom might have done the cranberry and even some of that kind of stuff. But we 86 the bird after a while, and no one ever was complaining. But, I know it's tradition and it feels good, and I'm not trying to talk you out of it. But if you kind of just think through it just a little, you're like, Corey's on to something there. Turkey's okay. I like a little turkey sandwich, and turkey sliced hot out the oven with some gravy is pretty good. But yeah, if they had some crawfish etouffee next to the turkey, I wouldn't eat the turkey. If they had speckled trout next to the turkey, I wouldn't eat the turkey. New York strip, filet, ribeye, lamb chops. You could have pasta bolognese next to the turkey and you wouldn't touch the turkey. Anyway. The first four letters of turducken say it all. Hey, the opposite of that mediocre stuff. How about Fausto's Italian Bistro tonight for dinner? Boy, is Fausto's good. Some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. Period. End of story. Don't take my word for it. Ask one of your Italian friends. Hey, man, you're Italian, right? Yep. Corey's always talking about Fausto's Italian Bistro. Is it any good? They know, they've been, they'll tell you. You've been seeing Fausto's, you've been knowing about Fausto's for years, and you've never been? What are you waiting for? They're open right now. They go till 10 p.m. tonight. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
If you or a loved one are suffering from Parkinson's disease, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
People started coming to us and asking for help for things other than addiction. We have a Parkinson's patient here. He comes in once a month and gets his little booster because that's what you have to do. In 2 hours after he started, his tremors in his hands stopped. So he said, Paula, your major marketing challenge is that it's too good to be true. But it's true. It truly is true. We can't say that all of these things have a cure, but these things happen and they're real.
Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
Make the call, 504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Producing tomorrow's talk radio today, Corey Johnson.
This is tomorrow's newspaper. Precisely. I already went further ahead into time to see what else happens.
Your View, Louisiana. That's Cox Channel 4 in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette. And live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
Future. Unbelievable.
That timing helps out. That future machine I got, it's huge. Go to the future, check out some sports, come back in time and place my bets. Corey Johnson back at you, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It was a gorgeous day. It's nighttime now. Thank you, daylight savings time. Already dark. And then the worst part, in 12 hours at 5:45 tomorrow morning, it'll start being light again. Too early. Dogs start moving around, barking. Get me out of bed too early. I'm not a farmer. I don't have to go do the back 90 or whatever it is. Anyway, it was a little chilly and sunny. It's going to be cold tonight. Tomorrow, cold again, but probably some rain. And then Sunday's going to be nice again, like today. Sunny and cold. 40s and 50s on Sunday. Tomorrow, overcast and probably some rain. But I wouldn't cancel plans.
Now, if you have some major outdoor event from 9 to 5 tomorrow, you might get some rain. But if you're planning on going hunting or fishing or landscaping or cutting the grass or going to play tennis or golf or whatever, I would stick with the plans until they get canceled. I mean, folks that do that kind of stuff regularly, we know that. You get away with what you're trying to do about 4 out of 5 times when it's going to be like tomorrow, rain and overcast and not a good day. Anyway, Sunday's going to be nice again. So half our weekend plus should be just fine. And tomorrow may end up being a good day. You never know. You never know. Hey, Bill Cassidy said today, I am not running for governor of Louisiana. Bill Cassidy, not running for governor. We'll soon find out if John Kennedy decides to run. He'd be the automatic front runner right away, regardless of the Louisiana Republican Party about 10 days ago endorsing crazy, insane Jeff Landry for governor. I like a Fantasy Friday edition of the show because I get Fletcher Mackel on, I get Michael Hecht on, I get Frank Brigtsen on every week. Because, boy, Monday through Thursday, mayor, just wearing you out. LaToya, the destroyer, Cantrell. It destroys you, all right, just beats you up, bludgeons you to death with her ridiculousness. I mean, if it's not the Pontalba, it's upgraded flights. Now it's all the upgraded hotel rooms need to be accounted for, like $2,400 a night super suite. No wonder she was praising the trumpeter who's in jail. What's that joker's name again? Markham was his buddy. Who's that clown that no musicians in New Orleans don't like playing with? Irvin Mayfield, that joker, that clown. You remember the mayor praising him, New Orleans own, one of our native sons, all that crap. It's like, it's about to go to the jail, lady. It's about to go behind bars. What's wrong with you? Well, this is it. This is it. The mayor pulls the, Irvin Mayfield type stuff. On the city dime, flies first class, stays at high-end hotel rooms. Irvin Mayfield was obnoxious. $1,400 breakfast at like a Ritz-Carlton in New York, just charging it to the city. The Louis Vuitton trumpet case, the gold trumpet, just obnoxious. Not acting rich. Not middle-class people that are on the city dime acting rich, acting wealthy. Acting wealthy. Not like they play on the Saints, like they own the Saints. What did Michael Jordan say when he got his $25 million a year contract, which was insane back then? Yeah, I might be rich, but the owner of the team's wealthy. Or maybe that was Chris Rock saying that. I think it was Chris Rock, actually. Michael Jordan is definitely rich, but he ain't wealthy. The team owner's wealthy. No, it's just obnoxious behavior. $2,400 for one night. Had to get the super suite. You're going to the bathroom, you're showering, you're sleeping in a bed. And thank goodness, even in New Orleans, in insane New Orleans and Louisiana, you got to get the lowest price. Any upgrades, you pay for the upgrade. That's why the mayor's responsible for those first class upgrades on the airline tickets. And she's going to be found responsible in upgrades for these hotel rooms that I've been talking about. Lee Zurich talking about it now too today. Now the clothing and furniture deal, and that's not Lee Zurich and Fox 8. They're just reporting on it. They're not breaking the story. That's a federal investigation. That's the feds exposing that. That's the feds exposing that. No, LaToya Cantrell is in a lot of trouble. Do I think the recall's going to work? I doubt it. I hope so. I hope so. I'd like it to work. On Tuesday, we had Eileen Carter on the program, NoLatoya.org. Tuesday, they had a press conference. 12 weeks in, 14 to go. So by next Wednesday, it's the midway point. They're behind pacing. In the beginning, they were ahead of pacing. Now they're behind pacing, and it only gets harder. The funnel, gets smaller. About 18,000 plus signatures total, maybe 19,000 total. They had 10,000 in the first 4 weeks. That means the last 8 weeks, They've only received 8,000 signatures, less than the 10,000 they got in 4 weeks. So definitely behind pacing. It only gets harder. They got to average, like, for the remainder of this thing, really about, 14 weeks to go? Got to average about 2,500 signatures a week, something like that. Need like another 40,000 to go with the 18. So you'll have 58. You need 53. Some are going to get tossed out. No, it's just a lot. 2,500, a week. That's what, about 400 a day. A lot of signatures. I hope it happens. I just don't know if it does. The one good thing, and this isn't a good thing overall. I wish it wasn't happening. I wish LaToya Cantrell was the greatest mayor the city's ever seen. I wish there were buildings branded with Microsoft, Cisco systems, and LaToya Cantrell in her first term was responsible for it. Fly her first class. Let her stay at the Ritz. All she does is create jobs and the economy. It's amazing. New Orleans is competing with Austin and Nashville. No one would care. But none of that's happening at all. Just the trips, just the expenses. Now you have a federal investigation. She's such a distraction that, I don't know, with this federal investigation, maybe the mayor gets popped. I don't know. Maybe the feds pull what they've done with other folks. Resign and we won't come after you. Honestly, in my opinion, I think the feds went to Mark Morial and said, leave New Orleans. Don't influence politics locally. You or your brother, sort of, don't be seen, and we won't come after you. You up in New Orleans, you start endorsing candidates, you start getting involved in politics. We're coming after you, full extent of the law. That's why I think Mark Morial, no one anywhere, the most ardent Morial supporter, 20, 25 years ago, could not have imagined after Mark Morial's done, we will never hear from him again. He'll move to New York. He'll head up some national group, Urban League in this case, and we'll never hear from him again. No one ever, a Morial proponent, would have ever dreamed of that ever. And that's exactly what happened. I think there are a few other examples if you open your eyes. People that have had careers in politics for decades, and all of a sudden they stop and they go into a totally different job or field. That's the feds. Bill Jefferson, one of the greatest things for Jefferson was Joseph Gow upsetting him. Not for Jefferson, for us, the citizens, people that wanted justice. This guy was an 18-year congressman, 9 times reelected. If he would have won again and was in Congress, the feds might have said, Bill, resign and we won't come after you. And to the feds, that'd be a win. We knocked a congressman out from being a congressman, a U.S. congressman. He's agreed to not run for any public office again. He's done. That might have been the deal. Bill Jefferson might have had some cards to put on the table. Instead, I call it the third greatest upset in New Orleans history after Andrew Jackson and Chalmette defeating the British, after re-landing an NBA team around 2002 with the then Charlotte Hornets, and Joseph Gow upsetting Bill Jefferson. No, Bill Jefferson didn't have the cards. He went to jail. 90 grand in the freezer. I mean, just pathetic. You people need to embrace how pathetic that is. Not, boy, if Edwin Edwards was governor, we'd be doing just fine. If Mark Morial was mayor, we'd be doing just fine. We're in the pickle. We're in because of those jokers, those clowns, those corrupt individuals. Now, I like when the feds say, get out of Dodge and don't rear your head again, and all will be cool. Getting rid of the cancers in our city by doing that. That's a good thing. No, it's happened to a few local politicians, in my opinion. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. You might be heading home from work right now. On the way home, you'll probably pass like 2, maybe 3 Rouse's Markets. There's a Rouse's in your neighborhood. Best quality, best price, best selection. They've got what you're looking for at the right price. Tastes like home. Rouse's Markets.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
As New Orleans is catching a sunset on Lake Pontchartrain.
Even mosquitoes, they sashay through the New Orleans air.
Corey Johnson.
Oh, and when they bite you, you don't go, ow. You go,
Tomorrow, all 7 Helm paint and decorating locations will be open, but there might be rain tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day you go get all your supplies at Helm. Sunday will be like today. Sunday will be clear and sunny. Sunday's the day you get your painting in. Tomorrow, go get your supplies at Helm, or let them bring them to you. You can pick out the colors, do it all online, call them. They'll bring it to you within 2 hours. If you've already picked up all your supplies, you're painting like, oh gosh, I'm about to run out of trim or, paint or whatever it might be, call Helm within 2 hours, free delivery. 7 locations, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. They got you covered. Tomorrow might be a little rain, but all 7 Helm locations are open. Go get your supplies tomorrow. Sunday's going to be like today, perfect weather. That's when you paint. Helm Paint and Decorating. They'll take care of you. Corey Johnson with you, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. What's that, Blue Boy? Everybody have a great weekend. What else? Celtics, Pels tonight, Smoothie King Center, 7:30 tip-off. Thanks, Blue Boy. What else? LSU, UAB tomorrow night, Saints, Rams, Dome Sunday. Thank Jason. Thank the listening audience. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Blue Boy. Monday.